Hiyo idea NYS, imagine I left my businesses. I left everything that nilikuwa nimebuild. Nikaenda NYS. So it was so unfortunate that after joining NYS, mimi nikijoin NYS nilikuwa nafikiri nimeenda job because I was needed to kuwa young. You are trying to look for many things you can do to improve your life. Hi guys, hoping that God has kept you well. Tamara's family here and we are back like we never left.
So if you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing. And to our family, thank you so much for your continued support. Guys, we've really grown and we thank God for that. And God bless you too. And continue sharing our videos and commenting and liking so that our family can grow bigger.
Asanteni sana. So today we are in a very different setup. Tulisema ile story ya leo tunataka kuchapa. We need a professional video.
Yeah.
And we try to think where can we go for that professional video, and we found one of the best studios that we have in Nyeri.
Yeah.
Not just actually in Nyeri, I think it's Mount Kenya region.
Yes, exactly.
As you can see, isn't this professional?
It is.
Yes, SHOWTIME Studios.
Yeah, and it's the same place where we come for our photos.
Yes.
We've been doing photo shoots here since last year.
Yes.
Yeah, since they started actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they are located in Nyeri town, Pamki House.
Yes.
We'll write the details of where the studios are located up in the description. We also pin their Facebook page and also their YouTube page.
And their content.
You get to know more about their services and some of the packages that they have. Yes. So thank you very much for your support. It has been overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's barely 2 months and now we are almost 1,000 subscribers, you can imagine.
Yes, we are at 901.
Yes, 99 to go.
Yes.
So if you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, kindly do so. We are not going to charge you, it's free.
It's free. By the guys subscribing, it's free.
Yes. So direct into today's video. So this is a very interesting video which I'm doing. It's part of my story.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I think I'm going to do this video in two or three videos because they're a bit long. And I'm talking about some of the mistakes that I've done. Because so many people make mistakes and some are very serious mistakes. And mine is not exemptional.
Yeah.
So today I decided, because this story is very important to me and it affected me a big deal. So nikasema, why don't I do it in a professional background?
Yes.
And that is why we are here today. So I'm giving a story of how I was able to grow my business from 5,000 shillings to a point where I was able to employ 2 people, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Kutoka hiyo 5k nilikuwa na kinyozi, nilikuwa na duka, and I was nilikuwa na duka viatu na nilikuwa bado kwa taxi business.
Yeah.
So I grew this business for a period of 3 years, and unfortunately, because of one misguided decision, I lost my business and I shifted away from my business for 2 years. And so when I came back after the 2 years, I had to spend like 3 years trying to find my ground, as in starting again.
Yeah.
So I wasted approximately not less than 6 years. So that's the story I want to give.
Yes. I'll be here listening for the second time.
Yeah, she's here to give me moral support and also ask his story afresh because I've been giving her the story.
Crying.
Na sometimes huwa ananichekelea. And I nilikuwa nafikiria kuita hii story, what was I thinking? Because there are some things that people do na ukigrow probably 3 or 5 years later unaanza kuona what was I thinking. So I think I'll just give the story. What was I thinking?
Yes, and I think you can start from how you found yourself in that business, 5,000.
Yes.
Maybe you can give us a background of how you came to that business actually.
Yes. So I started the business way back in 2008. I completed my high school in 2007. And if you remember what happened in 2007, we had post-election violence. And my family was one of the families that got affected. So when I completed my high school, I knew hakukuwa na hiyo option ya kwenda nini college, because nilikuwa nimebakisha tu just a few points kwenda campus. So unfortunately I was one of those people tulikuwa najaribu kutafuta balance in life, like because we got disoriented kabisa. So what happened, 2007 we moved to Nyeri from Nakuru, where I was raised and where we spent most of our life tukuwa watoto. So nikakuja Nyeri, then nilikuja, I came to my uncle's place, and I thank God for him and his family. God bless you, because they took me. And one of the things that I really appreciate about them is because they taught me how to find my ground. They taught me how to do what? To depend on myself. So my uncle gave me 5,000 shillings. I remember very well. Akaniambia, I'm not going to employ you because employing you will not help you grow. Akanipatia 5,000. Na akanionyesha, this is what you can do with 5,000.
And this was immediately after you finished your
immediately after I finished my high school. So he gave me 5,000. Akaniambia, go to this shop, buy these items, and then akanionyesha location ya kufanya hiyo biashara. So what can you do with 5,000? If you have an idea, you can give me a comment in the comment section. It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny because of what you bought.
Yes, nilienda nikanunua pegs. Nikanunua vitu za hawking basically. I was just hawking. It's only that I was not mobile. Nilikuwa stationed. You get? So I bought just a few items kama hizo za hawking nini. Na nasema basically nilianzia kuhawk. Ni vile tu sikuwa nazunguka. So nikaenda kwa hiyo location, and then I started doing business, pole growing. Nikatoka kwa nini, nilikuwa na katroli kachuma kalikuwa ka mobile kamkokoteni that is. So nilikuwa naweka vitu zangu, nazipanga vizuri, nashinda hapo hivyo nikiuza. I make my 100 shillings 200 shillings, then nikaanza ku develop culture savings nini hivyo, and then I grew within a very short time. Nilikuwa nimemanage tuseme, I cannot give the whole story of how I grew the business, but at least naweza sema within 1 year nilikuwa nimemanage kuwa naenda Nairobi every week, na nilikuwa nafanya shopping like 40,000 30,000 40,000 like every week kwenda stock. Hapo nilikuwa nimemove kutoka hiyo biashara ya hawking nikaingia kwa maviatu zingine za nyumba. Naitwa aje? Mahufis. We call them mahufis in our language.
Clogs.
Yes. Yes. So nilikuwa nimeingia kwa hiyo biashara, and then I expanded my business. Then within a period of 3 years, that is 2007, 2009 and 2010, biashara yangu ilikuwa imegrow to a point where I was able to set up a kinyozi, a very classic kinyozi. Na nilikuwa nimeweka viatu, and then nilikuwa nimeingia kwa taxi business, although ilikuwa employment. So I was able to shift my saving. Nilikuwa nimegrow my savings. Nilikuwa na save up to 3,000 4,000 a day. Hadi point nilikuwa naenda bank. They used to admire me. Hata walikuwa wamenijua. Walikuwa wananiuliza, this young boy, hey, what are you doing? You get?
Nilikuwa unatoshana kaboy kasi.
Na bado nilikuwa the size, sikuwa nimekula, sikuwa nimenini sana, nimeshiba sana. So that is how I was able to grow my businesses to a level where I was in different groups that auza watu wa biashara. Nilikuwa natoa pesa hapa na pale, na nilikuwa na saves, nilikuwa na savings kabisa. But now this is where now I want to pick the story of how one misguided decision, one misguided opinion ya mtu ilifanya ni lose focus. I lost all the businesses, na kutoka hiyo time I think it took me up to 4 years, almost 4 years before nirudi back.
Okay, before then there's something I want you to tell us. Where were you taking lunch and what happened? Ile time ka 5 bob kaliongezeka juu.
So in the course of doing hiyo nilikuwa kwa hiyo initial stages za kuanzia biashara, nilikuwa nimeanza kugrumiwa how to do the savings. So I was very strict in terms of spending, how I used to spend my money. So hiyo story unasema, I had given you that story. Kuna point nilikuwa yani so aggressive in saving to a point where president tulikuwa, kuna mama alikuwa anatuletea food, and at some point akaongezea food na 5 bob. Ilikuwa inauzwa 30 bob, akatuambia now vitu zimeongezeka is now 35 shillings. You know, I had to avoid lunch. Nili avoid lunch for the longest because of 5 shillings because I wanted to save. Nilikuwa na hiyo aggressiveness because I knew my parents are affected. My siblings are affected. So nikikaa hivi ati niseme now I'm waiting for my parents, probably I would get stuck. So that is how I wanted to, as hiyo aggression ya kusave ndio ilikuwa imetoka hapo hivyo. So after now building my business, now I want to talk about now where I lost the focus. And now the moral of this story is not every good idea is good for you. You get? And the importance of having mentorship in life, mentors in life, someone who can hold you, mtu mwenye anaweza kuambia do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. You get? So it was so unfortunate that somebody came up with an idea. I don't know whether aliona ni kama niko jobless ama ni nini, and then hiyo time I think nilikuwa naive. Kuna vile sikuwa na hiyo stability ya kusema I want to stand by my decisions ama nini. So ni vile tu nilikuwa, I was young. I think naweza sema kama ile Abel, young and stupid. After building the business, now things may peak. Now somebody brought the idea of NYS. And every time I talk about this story NYS, kuna vile nasikia nikiwa na feelings.
I know.
But I don't want to mean that through my story utasikia probably my tone ni kama nachukia, ni kama nasema NYS ni mbaya, but that is not what I mean.
It is out of what?
Out of my experience
plus your passion.
Yes. So after that person, don't want to mention them, alikuja na hiyo idea NYS. Imagine I left my businesses, I left everything that nilikuwa nimebuild, nikaenda NYS. So it was so unfortunate that after joining NYS, mimi nikijoin NYS nilikuwa nafikiri nimeenda job, because I was needed to kuwa young, you are trying to look for many things you can do to improve your life.
So this is after 4 years.
After 3 years. After 3 years. So nilikuwa najaribu tu kuona how can I better my life, how can I increase my earnings nini. So that is how I found myself, because nobody told me this is what you to expect ukiingia NYS. So I went to NYS, I left my businesses, and my first experience in NYS, the story about your training in NYS is a whole story to give. I'm not going to give the whole because I think it's not fair, and you don't give details about the training.
Yeah, sure.
So the first day I went to NYS, nilikuwa mtu very smart, very clean, even the way I was dressed, I was as in kijana amejipanga, businessman amekuja NYS. I went in my sport shoes, bag ilikuwa ile kama mtu anaenda ni majuu.
Wait, kwa businessman uko na sport shoes?
Yes. And nilikuwa nimeng'ara kabisa. I was stylish.
Sport
nobody prepared me how NYS inakuaga. So nikaenda NYS in my bags kama mtu alikuwa anaenda airport. So nikafika kwa gate na masimu zangu, nilikuwa na kizimbuki. You get? Unaona huyu msee amejipanga. So kufika kwa NYS nikafika kwa gate, before sana niingie nikaanza kupiga masimu, of course nilikuwa ile tu confidence. Kumbe environment imechange. Nikapata huko tumekuja training, hatujakuja nini? Tujakuja hatua biashara. So the first welcome that I got, I knew definitely this is not my place. But I wanted to give it a trial. Si wataka kurudi because haingekuwa ina make sense nifika tu kwa gate then nirudi. So I got myself in, and the training was very tough. So I took my training for 7 months. Normally NYS inakuwa na 3 stages. One is now the military conversion, where now you are trained like Kenya Police, the way wanapitia hizo nini, military conversion. You are trained from now being a civilian to being a disciplined force.
Now where is it quit in between?
The only option ilikuwa ya kuquit ilikuwa 3 weeks after joining NYS. But hiyo time sikuwa nime make decision, do I want to quit? Nilikuwa nataka nifanye, I give it my best. Ndio niona probably this is where my miracle is. You get? So I did not quit for the 3 weeks. So I had to continue with my training for the 7 months. Why are you laughing?
Patience.
You can learn that, patience. So nili grind for 7 months training, and in fact nikiwa huko tu nilikuwa exemption, because most of the people wenye tulikuwa na huko I don't want to impose names on people, but I think NYS ni kama inafaa kwa watu wa rehab. Mtu mwenye anajua nini unafanya na life, I don't think it's the best place to go. Kama mimi sasa vile nilicha biashara zangu, it wasn't like a good decision to make kwenda NYS.
Okay, sema hivi, if you've already started something else,
yes,
you are not the best person to go for NYS.
Yes, kama umeanzia.
Yeah, if you've already you have established yourself, like you uko na foundation.
You got a foundation.
You are not supposed to go to NYS.
Keep doing what you are doing. NYS is not your place.
Yeah.
That is if you have something you are doing.
Yes.
So mimi nikaenda hiyo training na nilikuwa najiforce. I was trying to force issues. Sikuwa naipenda. So in fact when we were graduating I was number 2 in drills. And what happens when you are number 1? Unasalimia president. Drills ni hizi marching hizi unaona na Kenya Police. I was one of the best. I was number 2. Nilikuwa najaribu tu, nilikuwa almost kusalimia Kibaki. Ilikuwa time ya Kibaki. Nilikuwa karibu kumsalimia hiyo time ya graduation, but I missed with one person. So that is how good I was. Bado nilikuwa naifanya, but that was not my passion. I was in the wrong place. Kabisa. And then now unfortunately, when I was leaving my business, I thought my business is going to run because nilikuwa nafikia nikienda NYS I would be communicating through the phone. Ninasema stock ikuje, sijui nini, kinyozi imefanya nini ama nini. But now that one is a whole story. How you cannot do a business if you don't have your hands on the business.
Exactly.
So mimi nikaenda tulienda kwa NYS. Now the first day simu zikaenda. You're not supposed to have phone.
So no communication.
No communication. I never used to know how my businesses are running. So that is how I started my business. The first hiyo ndio time yenye biashara zangu zianza kwenda chini kabisa. That is how I found my business after the training zilikuwa zimeisha.
So you went for training for how many?
For 7 months. Then after graduation tukaingia kitu inaitwa nation building. Kujenga taifa. That's now the second stage. Nation building is now when you go and work for the government as you wait for your preferred course imature, because wanakuwa na shule lakini hizo shule kunakuwa na courses na those courses huwa wanachukua wakati wamepunguza students, so you have to wait for the vacancy. So I had to wait. I was supposed to wait for between 1 year and 2 years before I would get slot yangu ya kuingia shule. So imagine for almost 3 years training, nation building, and now the vocational training, now the college ama whatever training that you want na NYS. Unaenda 3 years kupata diploma, working out like a donkey. Okay, I don't want to say it's bad, but from my perspective, I lost a huge opportunity to expand my business for the NYS deal. You get? So that was a very bad decision that I made. And from there, I will probably do another video. I will be discussing how I came out of NYS and how I started life afresh from scratch. Because nikitoka NYS, I'm telling you, I was grounded. Ile grounded kabisa, no business, no single shilling coming in, no what? I didn't even.
You had lost your communication with people.
I had lost my communication for almost 2 years.
Again, yeah.
Ile biashara nilikuwa nayo ya taxi kukuja tena kuanzia kurecover, it took me a lot of time because watu wenye nilikuwa nabeba, of course they had already walikuwa wametafuta options. So ni kukuja kurudi home.
Au umemwambia unaenda NYS job?
Hata your story, I was not proud to even to give that story because that was a very stupid mistake. And unfortunately, in fact, I came to forgive the person just the other day. Nimeishi kukuwa na hiyo bitterness, and it's important that I'm speaking because it's part of ile ku accept too, because nimekuwa na hiyo feeling a very long time kutoka hiyo time vile niliuza biashara zangu na nikakuja nikapata ile job huwa NYS unaambiwa sijui ukienda NYS utapata. I have so many friends who have gone through the NYS and still they are struggling, so it doesn't make sense to me. You go for all that and then you go for the vocational training, you go unaenda kusomeshwa sijui kufanya nini, and then you are back in the streets trying to hunt the same jobs mtu wa university ana hunt. You get? So to me, sijui kama ni mimi, but I never found value in that. I don't want to say NYS ni mbaya, but I'm saying from my point, from what I did, I didn't see the value. So that is how I wasted my 2 years plus 3 years that I had done business, and then coming back, I took almost 3 years to grow. So hiyo ni miaka mingi sana because of one decision.
Almost 9 years.
Almost 9 years because of one misguided decision. So if you want to hear the next part of my story, how vile pick up, you can subscribe, become a part of this family, because I will be sharing these stories. And the theme, the what? The main lesson, the main lesson of this video, this episode, ni the importance of focus and the importance of having mentors around you, and also when you have something that you are doing, stop trying to think there's another bigger idea or better idea. Just pursue what you think you if you are if the thing that you are doing inakuletea kitu, pursue it with passion. If you know your passion, kama unajua line yako, pursue it with passion. You get?
And water your grass.
Yes, and water your grass.
After those green pastures,
Akunaga.
water your grass.
Yes. So thank you very much for keeping it Tamara's family. The episode, we are calling it What Was I Thinking?
Yes.
Because now I'm thinking, what was I thinking? All right. So before we end the show, thank you very much to SHOWTIME Studios. This is one of the best studios that we have in Nyeri and probably Mount Kenya region.
Yes.
And if you want to check on their services, I'm going to pin their Facebook page on the description hapa chini.
Yeah.
Check them out.
So thank you guys. Today I was silent, I was listening.
Yes.
And thank you so much for your listening together with us, and God bless you. Until we meet in the next video.
God bless you and bye bye.